Welcome to our today's class. I warmly welcome in our online lifelong study circle. I'm your host Amarathi from UK, and we are in a live class. Um, and we basically offer every Sunday the same time online life coaching based content where you improve your life, you learn something new, and you apply in your daily practical life. Especially those gaps which remained unfulfilled. These gaps are normally are remained unfulfilled since our childhood, our school age, our college, university age, and even after um, we turning into 30, 40, 50 as well. So in these all lifelong learning, we try to fill out those gap, and uh, and we do offer many courses and many programs, online courses, and that's how we work. So I'm your host, Marathib, and nowadays we are working, we are learning about the consciousness. The consciousness is a topic in developmental psychology. It is very important in philosophy. It is very important in everyday personal development related issue, and more importantly, directly the topic of consciousness in spirituality. So this it is a multidisciplinary topic, and that's why we are studying it for many months now. And if you don't know me and you want to find me, there is my YouTube channel with my name. Just you can type simple my name, Maratib Ali Shad, and you can find my YouTube channel, where you will find a lot of insightful stuff, life-changing content as well. More important, its approach is spiritual. That's why it is a spiritual classroom you are. So, so let's go back what we are going to cover today. Uh, so before I am going to cover the consciousness subject, I want to just give you a quick recap that from a couple of weeks, we are learning the states of consciousness, levels of consciousness, and that starts from shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger. So they are sequential levels of consciousness which we learned, which we study from the book The Map of Consciousness Explained. Now, um, these all levels of consciousness, from the shame to the enlightenment, from the shame and guilty to the joyful life, from the shame and the guilty to the highest level of a man, any man can go, where Lord Jesus went, where Prophet Muhammad went, where Siddhartha Buddha went, where Krishna went, and lot of unlimited great people they went. So we are learning these levels of consciousness and how we can go to the highest level of consciousness, which is enlightenment, which is a love, which is a joyfulness. So every week we are learning different levels in detail so that we can understand what are the details of each of the level, and we can relate with our current life. So if that makes sense, okay. So let's start. And the book which I already mentioned in my speech, that the map of consciousness explained by Dr. R. Hawking. R. Hawking, if you don't know that David Hawking, he is an American psychiatrist. He was a authority in spirituality. He is are influencer and wrote many books in medical science and in spirituality and in different thing. So that is the thing which we are going to learn today. So the map of consciousness is on the screen. Map of consciousness we do from our from this map. That map of consciousness start from the shame, and when we have no um, we are on a very lowest level of consciousness, where we mourn, where we are depressed, we are in a shameful life, we are um, uh, on a very, very lowest level of in our happiness. Then we also victim become a guilty person, then we become hopeless and feel insensitivity where we don't care anyone. And then we moan and we become depressed by going into a griefful life where we lost someone, where we lost our business, where we did lose our many dear things. So we are in grief on that level of consciousness. And then we go and come out from fear, come out from shame, guilt, and we start to uh, uh, divert our attention with the shelter of fear. Fear is sometimes good because it is a repulsive stimulus within you when you see any danger. But that danger, if stay longer, then it means that you are going to become a victim of that fear. But when you come out from fear, then you start to achieve something. You make some goals, everyday disciplinary task you start to achieve, and that desire uh, you start to feel. But because your ground are not smooth, because you do not work on the roots of your life, that's why you will fail in your fulfilling desire, or these desire will never be fulfilled, and you become angry. You will become angry with your company, with your spouse, with your children, with your friend, with your society, with your. So that anger basically is a reflection of your unfinished goal, your procrastination factor of the life. But when you overcome this anger, or because of that anger emotion or anger based your life, you achieve something anyway, whether you achieve to recognize as a member of your community, your religious community, your skin color community, your language community, your culture where you brought up, where you become start to feel pride um, when you are proud of something, whether you achieved it or it was from your life as it is. And that is the power of your next level of the consciousness. But of course, this pride is still hollow, is still empty desire or empty thing. You will never be satisfied. So from here, you start to transform your life and enter into the next level, which is a courage. And we discuss also about that you start to take challenges and you start to take a risk in your life. And after courage, we stumble upon in today's topic. And today's topic is neutrality. So neutrality is the outcome. Neutrality is a fruit of you become courageous. Once you become courageous, once you start uh, to become a very courageous person, then you start to become a very 1 second, let me uh, okay. So once you start to become courageous, then you achieve the new level of consciousness, and that is a neutrality. And that is our topic of today. So, this neutrality, what does it mean by neutrality? If we literally see the definition of neutrality, and that neutrality mean impartial, you are lack of biased, you are not prejudiced, you believe on objectivity, you very clear, you are open minded person, you believe in fairness, okay, you are detached, okay, you are not on any side, okay, you are just on a very fair position, okay. It is a position where you also achieve maturity, okay. And if you are happy or sad, or you are biased against someone, or you are taking side of something, it means that you are becoming a biased person, then you are no longer neutral, okay. So okay, I think let me see my Facebook. Hold on, let me. My Facebook is coming. It's gone. Okay, no, I think my Facebook is coming. I can't find it. Uh, but maybe it is from behind. It is there. Okay, let's carry on. So that journey point you have reached. So have you ever experienced that when you were or you are impartial in your life? You don't take or you bother any side to take sides, or you are very open to listen truth, follow the truth, okay, and you are detached with everything, whether you have them or you have not them, okay. In neutrality, your energy becomes very positive as we get to the level that we have turns neutral. And turns neutral means when you are no longer on a lowest level of consciousness. You don't see things as a black and white. Have you experienced or you met with the people with very black and white thinking pattern? And mostly people who are authoritative and who are very traditional, they are very uh, have a what we call it thinking pattern not to be neutral, but they have, of course, sides of their topic, what they are discussing or they are in practice. They see the things in terms of black and white, and they are very partial, okay? They are no longer partial. So in neutrality, you believe that this life is diverse, people are diverse, there are hundreds of dimension of one thing, unlimited dimension of one thing, and you stay neutral, okay? You stay neutral not for the reason that you don't want to take side. You are designed not to take side. even deliberately, you cannot take sides because you don't believe on taking side, because you are no longer a thinker of black and white. Usually religious people are very black and white. Okay, if um, for example, if they see the things, they see the people's action and they just put a verdict, or you're doing wrong, or you're doing great, you're doing this amazing, or you this is awful, or this is wicked, this is very bad. So these type of thinking, and this reactivity is also really not neutral thing. It is a sign of that you are still living shame and guilty and fear somehow, and that is a very dangerous point. Okay, so let's start and read couple of things in neutral, that what makes you neutral. Okay, we have some people on Zoom and also on Facebook. So I will ask my colleague Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Good morning. And if you can start, read it, please.
Good morning, Meritive. Below 250, consciousness tends to see dichotomies and to take on rigid positions, an impediment in a world that is complex and multifactorial rather than black and white. Taking such positions creates polarization, and polarization in turn creates opposition and division. As in the martial arts, a rigid position becomes a point of vulnerability. That which does not bend is liable to break.
Thank you. It's a great reading. So when we are neutral, then there is no division, there is no divide within the nation, within the class, within the family. Okay, but when we are not neutral, when we are not neutral, then we make our country uh, fragmented into different positions. Every person in the country, they start to take their own position, and they form groups, and that groups fight with each other, usually the political parties. For example, in America, Republican and Democrats, they are the biggest parties. They have their own black and white mindset about certain things. They see the other people as a threat, or other opposition party as a threat, and millions of people follow them. So it means the American nations are divided into two, three groups, and that creates polarization, and that make your country not move forward what it should be, because more polarization in the country, more people will be confused, and uh, and that will be very not healthy for even democracy as a political system. So this black and white pattern of thinking uh, make not only person and on individual level harmful, but also as a nation, uh, or as a community, you will be very see, because dichotomy of the things are in your mind. You whether believe on day or whether night. You believe on higher or lower. You believe, you divide everything into two, and you will take one side only. So your spouse, your partner will be either bad or good. Okay, your children will be either good or disobedient. So your parents will be either good or bad. So this type of thinking is very harmful for the society, for personal level, because you are no longer neutral. So neutrality is a blessing from God if you have, because in neutrality you follow any route, any path. Okay, and that is a greatness in within you. and within the society. And that leads to diversity, that leads to pluralism. Like your country, your city has uh, multicultural background people, and all are working for, let's say, for you, New York. All people are working from London. All people have a uh, common goals of living healthy in, uh, let's say, South Africa. So that's how world's people and the global communities are building based on neutrality. This is the very highest form of uh, common success, but hardly people reach it because every person is biased in somehow. Whether I don't like, for example, French people, I don't like uh, black people, I don't like, let's say, certain type of religious people, I don't like. So these likeness basically is not make you neutral. Hence, you cannot uh, help yourself to become a great individual. You remain uh, on a lowest level of consciousness, unfortunately, because the rising above barriers or oppositions that dissipate one's energies, the neutral conditions allows for flexibility and non-judgmental, realistic appraisal of the problem. And that is, I come across few people who are non-judgmental, who are very realistic, uh, and uh, and they are super people. Okay, they are the best friend of everyone. Okay, they are best partner, whoever they are living with. They are the best boss, and if they have, let's say, 50 or 100 employees in the office, they do not say these three or four are my favorite employees and other are not. So they, I mean, because since they are non-judgmental and they believe on reality, okay, that's why they will remain detached. Okay, so this is a great thing uh, in being a neutral. It also means, like I mentioned, that you are not um, attached with the outcome. You don't care what will be the result of your being neutral or of that process, because you just enjoy the process. You don't work for the end result. That's why it's a very famous quote that, which means that when you are in a journey, like we are in a journey in our life, we just enjoy the journey. Doesn't matter what happens tomorrow or after 1 year or 5 year or 10 years. You don't need to worry. You don't need to think about that. Just enjoy your present. Just enjoy your process of the journey. And the success mean, the true success mean how well you are to enjoy your present. That's it. Success does not mean you achieve something. Success is to enjoyment of that journey which has some consequence or outcome. And that is a beauty, that the neutral person enjoy the present moment, okay, because he or she does not think about what he or she is going to get after this action. Therefore, he or she will not have fear and anxiety of the future outcome or any resources is finishing. For example, uh, uh, I have a Ford car, and for example, I'm enjoying every day when I'm riding my car. And if I start to think that, oh, I think after 1 month, the fuel or petrol will be finished in the city or in the world. Then will how I will enjoy my Ford riding, you know, and that is your mind does with you. It tricks you for those irrelevant things. Okay, you must enjoy whatever the petrol you can put in your car for how many days you can do. Just live with that things. Okay, and leave the things what will happen, because this is something which is not in your hand. If you are thinking about where you will get petrol or fuel after 1 month, okay, this anxiety will ruin, you will destroy your present moment. Okay, that's why the future planners are they do not uh, happier, uh, and they always in worries and anxiety all the time. The people who are living with heart, living with the passion, they just enjoy the process. Okay, and um, they don't expect that, oh, they will be defeating after 1 month or after, or so these type of things neutral people never be um, work on. Okay, and that is let's go further, and we will read further what the, we have Jal, Jaloa, Abdulia Jaloa. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name. Your microphone is not attached, probably. Uh, so I think you cannot read it, probably, but you can hear us, right? You can send us the message by just typing that you can hear us. Otherwise, I would request you to read it. But anyway, I will request Jenny if you can start reading, please.
At the neutral level, a person can say, well, if I don't get this job, then I'll get another. This is the beginning of inner confidence, sensing one's power. One, therefore, is not easily intimidated. One is not driven to prove anything. The expectation that life, with its ups and downs, will be basically okay if one can roll with the punches is a typical 250 level attitude.
Excellent. Thank you. So, you know that when you talking with your partner or with your boss, with your colleague, with your customer, so we often, when we make a statement or we make a claim or we share a judgment, then the other person asks you for the proof. Okay. Other person's attitude or response usually ask you to explain with example or with data or with your something which is a proof. The beauty of the neutrality is when you make any statement or you listen someone is making a statement or claim, you don't ask them to prove. Okay, because you are not judging them. Okay, and that is a beautiful mindset. That is a great conscious level. Okay, and that's why many people, whatever um, other people are asking them or they're saying in front of them, they don't care. They are enjoying their you know present, and that is one of the greatest thing we can imagine. And the last of paragraph in neutrality, and then we will have some question, answer, or contemplation. So I would ask again, Jenny, if you can start reading, please.
People of neutrality have a sense of well being. The mark of this level is a confident capability to live in the world. This is, therefore, experientially a level of safety. People at this level are easy to get along with and safe to be around and associate with because they are not interested in conflict, competition, or guilt. They are comfortable and basically undisturbed emotionally. This attitude is non judgmental and does not lead to any need to control other people's behaviors. Correspondingly, because neutral people value freedom, they are hard to control.
Excellent. Thank you very much for reading. Um, so you see, so you, this is the level of safety. Okay. When you are enjoying this level, then you are no longer in danger. Why? Because you are not interested in conflict. You are not part of the problem. You are not in any competition. You are not in any guilty based value or other person trying to make you feel that it is a state of guilty, it is the moment of guilty, you should feel guilty. um, and uh, and that is amazing state, because you are not judgmental. Okay. And no one can control you, or also you don't want to control other people. Okay. It's absolutely a freedom. You are, you just start to fly, like live and to live, live and to live. You are living and you letting the people to live as it is, how they want to live. And that's neutrality is superb, a level of consciousness. And remember, only few percentage of the people of the world, they are on neutrality. Okay. Usually they are very high spiritual people. Okay. Beyond any religion, even. Uh, they are very introvert sometimes. Okay. They are usually our CEO or a philanthropist, or sometimes celebrity as well, or there could be a common people like myself in the home, where they don't want to expose their highest value to the world. That look, I'm a neutral. I don't fight with my wife. I don't treat my children ill mannered. I don't have my enemy. If somebody say bad things about me, I stay calm. I see the things multicultural, multi uh, multicolored, this world, and there are unlimited opinion for everything, and I don't uh, care whatever you believe or whatever or your opinion. So these type of things, whether if you have, I'm sure you will have, or if you don't have, by virtue of God, you should have, you deserve. If you are listening to me, if you are reading it, this podcast, this video, it means you are chosen to become a neutral. Okay. Because remember, the guidance is everywhere. However, some selected people or chosen people, they enjoy this guidance when they involve themselves in the guidance. So I'm reading a guidance from the great people. So if you are listening it, if you are reading, it means you can be a neutral as well. And that's how you are designed. Otherwise, you will not be attending this class. That's I'm claiming to you. So you are special person. That's why you deserve to be not a black and white person. Okay, just a normal person. Okay, I give you an example. Uh, my favorite and my guide, Siddharth Gautama Buddha, when the Buddha was on the journey of finding enlightenment, or even when he left his palace, and when before he went into jungles and forests to find the truth, he was very neutral person, and he people say that he never smiled, but yes, he cried. Yeah, he used to cry when he saw people in misery of his town, of his city. Um, when he went into the street of his kingdom, which his dad, who was a king, he deliberately um, stopped his son, uh, who is a Buddha, not to go to the street, because king was told by some fortune tellers or some wise people that your son will be Messiah for many people, okay? And you need to keep away your son Buddha from the people's misery. Otherwise, he will become a Messiah and he will no longer be your prince after you. So, what he did, the um, uh, king did hide his son within the boundary of the palace of his kingdom. And he never allowed Buddha to go out uh, to explore the city, explore the different areas of the kingdom, because he was frightened, the kings were frightened. But eventually, one day or one time, he was able to go out of his palace. And when he went out, and then he saw this life is full of pain and suffering. He couldn't stop his tears to come out, and he started to cry with everyone's worry. If anybody has some pain, he start to go and feel it and start to cry. And he used to cry a lot when he was outside, because he couldn't see someone, or he never learned how to become insensitive in a pain and suffering uh, thing. And then he found uh, an idea that I will investigate it, that why pain and suffering is in the life, why God has made us suffering and pain in the life. Why everyone or most of the people are always fearful? Why? So this why answer took him out of the kingdom, and he left his princehood, and he left his palace and went into the jungles for many decades until he became Buddha. So, so basically, this master state of mindset, master consciousness state, which is neutrality, is amazing, is just mind blowing. If somebody is insensitive and believe in diversity, plural life, okay, that is something which now he or she is going to the next level of consciousness. And next level of consciousness is now ready to perform miracles, which is willingness. And that is a good news. That is a great news. That once you start to become neutral and you enjoy your neutrality, then your God is so blessed on you. Your God gives you the next power, and now you are willingly to achieve anything in your life. you start to perform miracles now. Okay, you are now willingness, and that is our next topic: willingness after neutrality. Okay, um, and but this neutrality comes as a result of courage. Always remember, as a result of being courage, and this courage is the first step when you start to transform your life. Until before courage, you were pride on your labels, whatever you are. You are Christian, you are Britisher, you are a French speaker, you born in a health, a wealthy family. So these are all prides you were, but still this is very low level of consciousness, because before that pride you used to be very angry, and that anger, why this anger comes in your life, why you start to fight with your husband or wife or your partner or with your boss, because your desire couldn't fulfill which you set the goals of your life. And that desire, because these desires, these goals were basically scapegoating from your fears, which you have so many hundreds of fears in your life. And that, and why you had these fears, because you once were hopeless. And why you were hopeless, because you lost your mom or dad or your partner, your children, because you lost your probably a job, you lost your wealth, you lost your company, or you lost your health, and that grief was the outcome of a guilt which unconsciously you were living with. Whether you deceived your wife, you cheated your husband, or whatever you did, this guilt was a result of your living a shameful life. And that is a whole journey, step by step, comes in people's life. And that we are studying from the Map of Consciousness, written by Dr. David Hawkins. And that's it. That's our today's class. Now, if you have any question, if you have any story to share, if you want to discuss anything, please feel free or share with me here. Okay, excellent. So we will meet again for the next level of uh, consciousness, which is willingness. If you want to perform miracles in your life, then the next class is for you. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week, the same time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Meritive. Have a great week.